Hello, everyone. Well, it's September 1st, and you know what that means. That's right. Today is the beginning of Star Trek Timber! Ah, yes. Star Trek Timber 2016 is finally here. And today, we're going to be taking a look at this year, we're going to be taking a look at Star Trek, the original series, all 79 episodes. So, how many episodes am I going to review each day? Well, since there's 79 episodes, I figured I'd probably do 7 episodes, and then 7 episodes over the course of 10 days, and then I'll do the other 9 episodes over the course of 3 days. So, there you go. But anyway, so, Star Trek the original series. Where did it begin? Well, it actually didn't begin with William Shatner's James T. Kirk or stuff like that. Instead, we're going to start off with the original pilot episode, The Cage. So, here we go. The USS Enterprise, under command of Captain Christopher Pike, receives a radio distress call from the fourth planet in the Telos star group. A landing party is assembled and beamed down to investigate. Tracking the distress signal to its source, the landing party discovers a camp of survivors from a scientific expedition that has been missing for 18 years. Among the survivors is a beautiful young woman named Vina. Captivated by her beauty, Pike is caught off guard and is captured by the Telosians, a race of humanoids with bulbous heads who live beneath the planet's surface. It is revealed that the distress call and the crash survivors, except for Vina, are just illusions created by the Telosians to lure the Enterprise to the planet. While imprisoned, Pike uncovers the Telosians' plans to repopulate their ravaged planet, using himself and Vina as breeding stock for a race of slaves. Egads! The Telosians try to use their power of illusion to interest Pike and Vina, and present her in various guises and settings. First as a regaling princess, a loving compassionate farm girl, then seductive green-skinned Orion. Pike resists all forms. After an earlier landing party failed to gain entry from the surface, 6 members of the Enterprise crew prepared to beam into the Telosians' underground complex, but only Pike's first officer and Human, both women, materialized at Pike's cell to offer further temptation. By then, however, Pike has discovered that primitive human emotions can neutralize the Telosian's ability to read his mind, and he manages to escape the surface of the planet along with the 2 members of his landing party. The Telosians confront Pike and his companions before they can transport back to the Enterprise. The captain tries to negotiate, but the first officer sets her weapon on a build-up to overload. Pike and Vina move closer to her, agreeing with her preference for death rather than captivity. After all, if the Telosians have even one human being, they might try again. This demonstration of fatal result confirms what the Telosians have been gleaning from their records they've accessed from the Enterprise's computers. The human race is far too violent for their needs. Then why are you trying to kidnap and enslave humans for your own purposes? That doesn't make any sense. Despite their last hope having been proven unsuitable, the Telosians are not vengeful. They let the humans go. The first officer and Human beam up immediately, but Pike remains behind with Vina, urging her to leave with him. Vina explains that she can't leave. An expedition had indeed crash-landed on Talos 4. Vina was the sole survivor, but was badly injured. The Telosians were able to save her, but as they had no understanding of human physiology or aesthetics at the time, she was horribly disfigured. With the aid of the Telosians' illusions, she is able to appear beautiful and in good health, as much to herself as to any others. Realizing that the continued Telosian illusion of health and beauty is necessary for Vina, Pike is ready to return to the Enterprise without her. In an act of goodwill, the aliens show him that Vina sees an image of Pike next to her, and they walk up the entrance that takes them into the Telosian habitat. Pike then beams up after the Keeper's closing words. She has an illusion and you have reality. May you find your way as pleasant. So, yeah, that was basically all that happened in the very first episode of the show. Yeah. Star Trek the original series was really goofy, and so were some things from the other shows as well. Anyway, let's look at the production elements of this story, shall we? The Cage is filmed at Desilu Production Studio, now known as Culver Studios, in Culver City, California. from November 27th to mid-December 1964. Post-production work, pickup shops, editing, scoring, special photographic and sound effects continued to January 18th, 1965. Gene Roddenberry paid a lot of attention to what the Outer Limits team was doing at the time, and was often present in their studios. He hired several Outer Limits alumni, along with them Robert Justman and Watt Chang, for the production of Star Trek. One of the creatures in the cages was reused from the duplicate man of the Outer Limits and was called a Megazoid. The prop head from the Outer Limits episode Fun and Games was used to make a Telosian appear as a vicious creature. The process used to make Poindexter's David McCullum and the Sixth Finger was reused in Star Trek as well. The ion storm, seen in The Mutant, a projector beam shining through a container holding glitter and liquid suspension, became the transporter effect. Excuse me. All the Telosians were portrayed by women, with their telepathic voices recorded by male actors. This was done to give the impression that the Telosians had focused their efforts on mental development to the detriment of their physical strength and size, and also to give that much more of an alien feel to the Telosians. However, the deep voice of Malachi Throne as the keeper in the cage was electronically processed to sound higher pitched for the menagerie, as Throne also portrayed Commodore Mendez in the latter. The keeper's voice from the menagerie was kept for both the remastered and the new original versions of the cage, which would be released later. Throne's altered voice as the keeper only survives as a brief sample that can be found in the preview trailer for the Menagerie Part 2. The laser cannon prop appears only in this episode, although it's clear circulating sighting grid was recycled for use in the shuttlecraft in the Galileo 7 and other Star Trek episodes. So, yeah. Basically, the cage was meant to show what Star Trek could have been, but unfortunately there were some changes and stuff like that happened, so yeah, but we'll address those in the next episode. Anyway, as for what the next episode is going to be, well, it's going to be, let me see here, So, yes, the next episode we're going to be looking at is The Man Trap. The first episode that actually aired, even though it was 6 in the production schedule. Yeah. So, overall, what kind of ranking score am I going to give these reviews? Well, I would say 1 to 5, I don't know, warp cores or something like that. So, I would give the cage a score of 3 warp cores out of 5. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys again today when I look at, well, the Man Trap and some other episodes. So, yeah. See you guys then.